Let's get into this ban and protect. Let's see what these guys are saving for their arsenal and getting rid of. Hawqeh initially taking out that M8, but interesting one. Nolson protecting the afterburner.
Okay, and that's something that intrigues me. How much of a kind of a benefit will Nolson find with that? We'll see. Stock taken away, of course, that's going to be gimping a little bit of those ARs, and another protect, this time from Zed on the VMP.
Yeah, Zed performed phenomenal yesterday. He wants to keep that VMP in his back pocket. For me, the afterburner, that's all about these wall runs.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a great movement, you can do it without it. But if you've got afterburner in your back pocket, you can, you know, maybe lose a little bit of it, recharge it quicker. But moving through, Hazy XD card taken away, Heatwave as well taken away as specialist, which we've seen a couple of times taken. So going into the specialist draft, obviously they won't be able to pick that Heatwave.
Okay, and we'll see what options they kind of go for to sort of, avoid that. Purifier, we are going to still be seeing Firebreak make an appearance then, even if it isn't going to be Heatwave, as it's time then for active camo for Joshh. And I'd love the idea of active camo on hardpoint. Like, I mean, usually you expect more of a kind of a breaking the hill, your kinetic armors and your Heatwaves. Of course, that's taken away, and both of them are opting to go down that Spectre route.
Yeah, I think it may be a Heatwave swap. If you like, Heatwave's taken away, active camo's come in. What I really like about this is how much quicker they've done it today than yesterday. For me, they've gone away, talked about it, almost prepared what they're going to ban, what they're going to protect. This isn't an on-the-day thing. This is, you know, the brains behind it, picking what we're doing, preparing it. And talking of brains, Brain there taking the Scythe, and Bance obviously rivaling that as well. As these guys create their classes, we can touch on the specialists a little bit more, and obviously the classes that may be stumped. You know, we're not going to see the M8 as much with that stock as well taken out, and the M8 itself. So assault rifles, what are you thinking, Alex? What do you think is going to be coming in? I think personally maybe the Mano War.
Yeah, I was going to say we're seeing more and more like the kind of rise to the power of the Mano War, especially considering Rapid Fire was available. I didn't see that get taken away unless it was the last two.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it was done
so unbelievably quick.
They've almost prepared it.
Yeah, I think that was definitely kind of already written down in someone's kind of notebook as they threw that ban and protect out very, very quickly. And another point I wanted to make, just I can see you have something to say as well, but you know, with this Annihilator, it does seem like it is always that one exception, and it always seems to be that player who feels comfortable with the Annihilator, takes that over, excuse me, perhaps the Purifier or something like that.
Yeah, it is definitely what feels comfortable for you. You know, if you're handling a Purifier and you just kind of want to spray and pray, pick up a couple of kills and then get taken down, fair enough. Nolson, you know, as well as other Annihilator players, much like Tommy, they're very confident. They're the players that kind of will be jumping midair and going for these kind of crazy shots. But it's not just audacious plays that, you know, that they know that they're confident in their own ability to pull things off. And with a one-shot kill weapon, you know, it's shoot, reload, shoot, reload. And the one thing that you did say, which I was pointing out, is the creator class in. They were already at 40 seconds pretty much, most of them. Again, prepared for this. They've gone over this. And that's what makes a great Call of Duty team. Preparation and putting time into it. Yeah, and I have a really good feeling about this game. I think you guys are going to be treated to something quite special between these two teams. Good stuff already been seen from Splyce and Hawqeh. Of course, the storyline there surrounding that new player. He's been tossed and turned around different rosters during the kind of opening weeks of the World League. He has, however, settled into Splyce, and we're looking forward to seeing how he does perform with those new three players. Yeah, and for all you new members who may not know, for one thing to watch is the Splyce roster, Vortex and Bance. They're XXL players, okay? Oh. So this is definitely kind of a battle of individuals as well as organizations. However, hardpoint evac. For you guys at home, 250 points is the score limit, 5 minutes on the time limit. We won't always see that come into play. However, no respawn delay, so as soon as you're shut down, you're back on the battlefield, you're getting back in the action. We're going to see some very, very fast-paced game.
Yeah, I mean, it does all just come down to those kind of opening hills and seeing how far people can push it. Again, as you would always expect, that initial hard point is just going to be those scrap points, trying to establish some sort of lead, and looking forward to seeing how this one does start off. Looking through the classes, though, I'm seeing some Vespers, Man of War, and it's going to be kind of, I mean, with the VMP protected, you'd expect to see a few more of them. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Zed was the one who protected it, but because of the Vespers being available, he's like, well, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I'm going to get someone more in the action. However, Splyce kicking off a couple of kills, Nolson answering back, and 4-0 is the score at the moment. Splyce taking those early picks as Qwiker goes for the rotation.
See how far he can get with this one. Qwiker is going to be throwing out as much as he can to try and waylay this assault, but no, Joshh too good. Collects himself a double. And now with 38 points, 10 points for Splyce, 3 for XL, and it's going to just keep on kind of piling up for Joshh. It's really, really impressive.
Okay, Hawqeh, though, 2-2, gets taken down by Zed. Let's jump back on board with him. We've seen a player already in the league, very, very confident. Look at him go, takes down one. 2 and 2 at the moment, 8 seconds on the clock. Rotation coming in for this second hill, and this is really a bit of a money hill for me. This is where you can lock the opponent out on that right-hand side on grass, but no, Splyce answer back. 4 kills already for Joshh. He gets shut down. Now, even Stevens as we enter this second hard point.
Yeah, so it's going to be rotating straight out then towards that kind of tent kitchen area, and it's going to be Joshh who's kind of first on the scene to try and break it. He is going to... What on earth was Zed doing? He was admiring the walls, and that did cost him his life. Joshh finds another one. How is he getting away with this? Surely not a third. It doesn't look like it's going to be available because Qwiker is, well, believe it or not, too quick. 5 frags for him as well, and 30 seconds on the hard point so early. That's impressive.
Very, very impressive. Quiker's always a player that plays on a little bit high sensitivity, doing these jumps. He's not a kind of static player at all. Gets taken down there, but will be straight back in the action with that 0 respawn. Remember that, guys. You can get back up, you can get straight back in, and that's why getting the spawns are so important. XL taking the lead.
Yeah, you can still see how much they can extend that lead. It's still 20 seconds on that hard point. That's not to be laughed at. And I think you can see Qwiker had something quite special for us. Didn't quite manage to connect it because Hawqeh did manage to find him with his Vesper. There's a whole lot of Vespers on this one. Evac is a Vesper kind of zoo at this point. And already the rotate is on. They're going to be heading straight on the kind of furthest corner. Maybe potentially expecting a war run or not. Vortex not interested. It does actually cost him his life. And it's time for some active camo play. He's just the one, as it's going to be Joshh. Slaying another one.
Yeah, Joshh started slow off yesterday. However, not the case here. Already 7 kills to his name. Vortex as well combining. But no, let's jump on board with XL. They've taken a big kind of 4-piece, taken all of Splyce down. Now in control of the hard point. And obviously extending that lead. 90 points already under their belt. Qwiker unlocking that active camo. Not yet in use, though.
Yeah, I want to see how far they can get there. I did see a war run on that X-ray. I want to know who was coming up with that one. As it's going to be Nolson. Actually, Nutella Light was Vortex, who's come right around. It's going to just be the one for him, and this does just look like it's going to be a real lead for XL, starting to accumulate. Already hitting 100. We haven't even breached 4 minutes, and they're still collecting those 15 points. The rotate already coming in from Splyce. I think they've kind of made the executive decision that it's just not worth it, and instead they're going to set their sights on that final rotation, which will, of course, be towards that kind of green room.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one with the water obviously bottom, bringing the map up here because you want to see all these players entering the very bottom middle. You're going to see it's going to go in favor of Splyce. I'm going to get on board with someone a little bit close to the hard point. It's going to be Joshh, but getting taken down. Zed really heating up now. 12 and 8 has that kinetic armor available to him. Surely he's going to find maybe a double in the back here. One gets taken down and a second as well. XL really just extending this lead now 100 points. I thought this would be close, Machine.
So did I. I mean, this is scary, especially considering just one man from Splyce has picked up 10 frags or more. Zed, though, just slaying. Joshh and Bance get put into the ground, and XL is starting to continue to grow that lead. They're bordering on 150 here, and the frags just keep on coming. Zed, not another one. Oh my god, that was nearly 3. Joshh goes into damage control mode just to try and take something away from them, but look at this. No time on the hard point whatsoever. The highest amount of time spent on the hard point for Splyce is 16 seconds. That is repulsive.
Exactly. Flip it on its head. We've got Qwiker in there for 2 minutes now. He is literally objective based. He's only got 5 deaths to his name and already racking up 14 kills. However, we saw Zed unlock the lightning strike. Will it come into play here? Oof. And Qwiker also gets the streak, so XL are going to be able to extend this lead even more. We've seen a 140-point gap here. Of course, for you guys at home, first to 250. We are not there yet. Splyce can get back into this, but let's see what they're going to have to do. I'm going to jump on board with Bance. He's the top slayer for this team currently, going 12 and 16.
Yeah, he's going to have to play this staircase well, though, because there's going to be a man just there, and look at that. Assault rifle v SMG, and assault rifle prevails. It was Brain with the mana wart making things work, and now we're going to be seeing Vortexes with his Vesper. No surprise there, just shooting from the hip, and he's not going to be able to find a second as Brain actually drops that rifle, takes a leaf out of the Vesper book. We're going to be seeing this kind of remaining 20 seconds getting a little contested, a little heated towards middle. Finally, we're going to see something go the way of Splyce as Vortex does pocket himself too. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. I mean, that's potentially only really 10 points before the rotate comes in. It does look like Splyce have kind of just left one man to his own devices. Yeah,
Splyce had that back spawn. Lightning Strikes is going to come in, not going to pick up anyone. This is a hard point where, you know, it's very kind of covered, if you like. There's not going to be many kills from that. I'm not sure if that was the wise decision. Maybe going for that guy Anchor in the back. But Brain has the size, taking down 2. Joshh shuts him down. 18 kills. Brain really hotting up as well. Qwiker, though, that 2 minutes is really pushing his team in the lead. Can he break into this? Yes, he can. Takes him down. Has that Hellstorm available. 40 seconds left. They can really extend their lead here, Alex.
This is just absolutely crazy. Not only is he fragging, but he's also spending so much time on the hard points. He's doing both at this point. He's spinning plates, and he's doing a fantastic job of it. Finally, Splyce starting to fill up that kill feed and make it nice and yellow. Things aren't looking all too bright for them, though. Is he going to be seeing Nolson finally try and shut this one down? It's going to be Joshh and Vortex, the only ones really providing anything. Bance finally chimes in with one as well, but 15 seconds left. And again, you better believe it, XL are picking up those points. They're going to pick up 200 before that 3-minute mark.
Yeah, and just to slow things down a little bit here and kind of see what is going on. For me, XL are in such a lead now. Usually you see things like early rotations from team, but for Splyce, they almost can't do that anymore. They can't give this, what we call scrap time, to XL, because they need every single point on the board. 208 points and increasing for XL here. Of course, that score limit 250 is getting closer and closer, Machine.
That's a really good point as well. Splyce have to kind of fight tooth and nail for every single point now, and XL are just being gifted this one on a silver platter. 220. Finally, actually, I was about to say it gets contested. No, Brain just went for a walk as he did find onto Bance. Looking for another one as well. One more bullet will do. He is not going to be able to connect. Opting for the MR6, and that was a bit swift. But instead, we are still just going to be seeing XL really just having no problem and looking to wrap this one up nice and quickly. Finally, Splyce have something to say.
Yeah, love what Zed did here. He kind of wrapped around his own hard point, anticipating this, picks up 2, gets taken down again. 32 kills to his name, more than anyone else in the lobby. You saw active camo enabled there, but Nolson shuts him down. Picking up the second, doesn't quite do it, but teammate Qwiker sliding in and picking up that frag as well.
Yeah, and XL can just laugh this off now. They just want to go for their rotate. In fact, they're just going to, I think they're going to be 1 point off. Yeah, no, 2, math is hard, 3. There we go. It's going to be heading on for that final hard point, and this surely is the end for Splyce. They have to hold absolutely all of this hard point. They cannot afford to let 1 point slip, and so far, so bad as 2 players do go down. Finally, Splyce finds some courtesy of Bance and Vortex, and still they stand vigilant. 64 to 247, 248. This is it. XL pick up the first map in the series, 250 to just 64.
Yeah, Joshh leaving the game early there. Was it a bad performance? I don't know. However, look at the XL roster here. Zed, Nolson, Qwiker and Brain, every single one of them going positive. For me, the key players, yes, Zed standing out on that scoreboard, but Qwiker, 10 defends, 2 minutes 35 Machine in that.
Versus XL, and it's playing out in search and destroy Stronghold, and looks like we're not going to be seeing any more Vespers after that first game and that experience that Splyce experienced.
Yeah, I mean, for Bance taking away that's very key. Maybe that was their downfall. Maybe they're not used to the Vesper. Overkill taken away by Zed. Obviously, that is preventing those sniper submachine gun combinations. Heatwave we see once again taken away, coming into play a lot more here in the Call of Duty World League in Europe. Vortex, very standard ban of high caliber. You talked about what we said, head glitch in power positions where basically your whole body is covered by, say, a rock, and only your head is shown. So that high caliber, which increases the damage, you know, it can almost ping you off those power positions. Of course, not anymore. Qwiker taking away that active camo.
Yeah, and I mean, glitch is still available, and it's a real kind of house favorite when it comes to search and destroy. I think we'll be seeing a whole lot of that, especially considering these bans, Heatwave and active camo taken away. It does, like you said, touched on it already, but it's an interesting discussion point. It's just how often we're seeing Heatwave taken away in ban and protect. HCXD, talk to me, Phil.
Yep, interesting enough, Joshh took it away in the hardpoint. It's taken away in the search and destroy. He's obviously not a fan of it. Maybe he doesn't like little
maybe
cars.
He can't drive it.
Yeah, maybe he can't drive it. Oh, cold-blooded. We will touch on cold-blooded protected in a moment. However, that HC car, search and destroy, obviously, yes, hardpoint, you can get taken down, you can get back up. Search and destroy, there is no getting back up. You know, you are going down, and it is so important. 1 kill, and if you're driving basically a C4 on 4 wheels, that's what I think of it is. It's very dangerous. You don't want to see yourself in that position. Of course, we saw that cold-blooded protected.
That was just a little bit of mind games. Come in, it was the last. You can never protect on the last, so that's just them getting in their head, I guess.
I think that's almost making a statement. It's almost like, yeah, you can use cold-blooded if you want. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's all
we
yours,
don't care. Or could be very silly. You never know. But cold-blooded, obviously, for you guys at home. For me, it's going to be those snipers using thermal. If you've got cold-blooded, you're hidden away on a map, covered in snow. It's going to be a good thing. However, specialists. Glitch, psychosis, kinetic armor, we're seeing very standard search and destroy things here. Yeah,
I mean, the kinetic armor doesn't surprise me at all, and I'm glad to see it come out on both sides of things, as is the overdrive. It's going to be Qwiker, quite appropriately, and Joshh picking up the overdrive there. Psychosis for both as well. We're going to be seeing the kind of in-mirror matchup between these guys. All 4 mirrored on either side. XL, though, let's do that roster for you. Zed is going to be picking up Glitch. Brain's going to be rocking Psychosis. Qwiker on overdrive, and then we're going to be seeing Nolson rounding out the roster with his kinetic armor. I'll let you do Splyce.
Yeah, Splyce. Bance taking the psychosis, you know, can double himself up a couple of times. Vortex with that kinetic armor, rivaling Nolson. Hawqeh and Joshh finalizing things with that glitch and overdrive. Joshh, with that overdrive, doesn't surprise me. That aggressive player can get into them. But for me, Search and Destroy on Stronghold is two kind of very different methods of playing this one. You've got the B-bomb site, very, very open. You can see it from all angles, whereas A, very closed in, the bottom of a house, almost in a garage of a house. And, you know, the complete opposite of B. Which ones these prefer, I'm not too sure at the moment. But I will say, if you can get that B-bomb down, and planted, you know, the clock starts ticking, and you can watch it from a lot of angles.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of risk-reward. Yes, if you do get the bomb down, you're great, you're cushy, as they would say. But you really, really are going to have to work hard to get that bomb down without some sort of congestion, because it is so open, as you said. So yeah, kind of risk-reward for that one. But looking forward to seeing how this one does play out. As I've already highlighted, it's really going to be answering a lot of questions for me about how, you know, teams are going to approach Stronghold on Search and Destroy. And, you know, the point I want to make is, yes, we're talking about the Specialist draft. Sometimes it feels like we're not going to be seeing too much from the Specialists. You know, when Active Camo and Heatwave get taken away because they're so much quicker at regenerating, you're probably going to see like 2, even 3 if they're really fragging uses of those Active Camo Heatwave. Yeah. However, with some of these picks, you're only going to see like, there's only one round, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted. And
that's it. We don't want to see these every single round. It would almost kind of become a little bit ridiculous.
Of course.
These guys have really got to work hard, kill a lot of people, plant a lot of bombs, defuse a lot of bombs. It's as simple as that. The more points you rack up, the quicker you will get these. But some recharge quicker than others. For me, though, the important ones, Overdrive, Joshh, and Qwiker. When you're on that aggression, you're gonna be able to beat players to a position which they're not used to. You know, 5 rounds out of 6. You know, they're going to get in a certain position before you. However, if you can be a bit, you know, surprise attack almost and be like, yo, I'm here, you're not, shot you in the back, that's going to be a big, important factor for Search and Destroy. Of course, we'll be keen to jump on board with anyone with a specialist, but Search and Destroy Stronghold, great map, absolutely love it.
A point to be made is there's an absence of Scythe, which is actually one of those ones which we've been seeing of kind of a very, very popular pick on any game mode. So it's time for us to dive on into this one then. It's, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be your second map in our first series of day 2 here. Going into Stronghold, Search and Destroy. And let's see how Joshh looks to start things off. Rocking the Kuda, got long barrel on that one, I believe, for that extra range, and he's going to be immediately tagged up. No flak jacket for him, he's incredibly low.
Yeah, interesting one on the bomb site. Whilst nothing is happening, just bringing this up. Very, very defensive line here for XL. And Vortex alone on that right-hand side. However, looks like there's some gunfire going down in the middle. I'm just going to jump on board with Bance because the sniper rifle's out. Let's see what he can do. I think he took some damage there.
I like what he's attempting. There is a player just to his left. I think he's changed his mind, though. Still anticipating some sort of aggressive defense, but nothing's going to be thrown out just yet. And this, my friends, is the calm before the storm. They have to break that defensive line. It looks like Joshh is going to be the one given that mission. And so they set him loose. He's going to be pushing on through, then desperate to try and just find something, some first blood and glimmer of hope for his team, because time's starting to become a factor here. 38 seconds and counting. And it looks like potentially we're going to be seeing something play out on towards B. Has to kind of check those corners, though. And they are holding it quite passively. Nades could become a problem if he's not too careful. Does get tagged up. He's going to be getting all that intel. And they just have no time at this point.
Yeah, Joshh taking out that trophy system. Stun's coming. Actually, here's someone with that. It looks like the bomb has gone down now. All 8 players alive. This is where the battlegrounds start, and Hawqeh picking up 2.
Yeah, it starts and finishes with Hawqeh then. 2 for him. Finally, Brain puts a bullet into him. And looks like we're going to be seeing the flank from Joshh. He's coming right on behind. This could very well be a quick frag, but no, they anticipate it. He needs to connect the shots nicely, and he does. As Brain does go down and it falls to Zed. An incredible player, especially with the VMP equipped. But 20 seconds to retake this site, get the defuse. It's all looking rather unlikely. 7 seconds for that defuse, guys. Don't forget, 7.5 to be precise, and he knows that they've played this too well. They've got so many angles. They've just played the time absolutely beautifully, and instead he's going to try and keep... I was going to say try and keep those points. He hasn't got a frag yet, and he isn't going to get anything.
Yeah, I think he might have been just trying to take them off the point. In fact, feeding them more kills. Zed goes down. I like the way Splyce has come out here. You know, they've come out, they're off a tough loss. Very surprising, and I will say that in confidence. I know those guys will be disappointed with that hardpoint loss. But picking up the first round, really important. One thing that surprised me on that particular round, how defensive XL were. You know, they were very, very... kind of set back, if you like. Let's see if they do anything different on the aggression. Jumping aboard with Nolson.
Okay, looks like we're going to be seeing something different straight off the bat this time from the attacking team. It's XL's turn to show us what they've got, and it looks already like they're going to be trying to really make a push through that chalet. Loving to see this early sniping as well. Good kind of... I think it was Bance was bringing that up beforehand, and now we're going to be seeing what XL can do with that.
Yeah, they've breached into this top room here. They're in the enemy base. Now, their bomb site is just below them. However, that will be defended very, very, very highly via Splyce. Again, you can see this kind of super defensive kind of search and destroy, and this is something I'm not used to at all. So they're almost kind of countering each other.
Well, what this is they're playing for the retake, right? They don't want to kind of concede early losses and then be forced to have like a 2v4 situation with the bomb down. Instead, they're like, hell, get the bomb down, and then we know exactly where you are and what you're playing around. It does actually make their job increasingly easy. The bomb is going to go down. The time is extended, 40 seconds then, and it's going to be coming down to what Splyce can do to get this retake. XL have set the clock, and already frags are being exchanged 1 for 1 as it falls to a 3v3. And also looking to change things, but he does, but in the wrong way. His bullet did not quite connect, and Bance's did. Now Hawqeh finds another, and this is a beautiful play from Splyce. They just kept it cool, calm, collected, and it does come down to, oh, Zed, what a shot finds Bance. That thermal scope can only get him so far, though. He's going to be holding that angle. He knows he's going to be attempted to be hunted, but I think he realizes the defuse is just going to be a little too easy. 2-0, and Splyce starting strong.
Yeah, for me, that's a fantastic position. Great snipe, have to say. However, that's a 1 versus 1 position. That's where, yeah, I'm going to run to the back of the map and hide and get that one pick. But as soon as he made the first kill, you know, they knew he was there. So
I was expecting him to be able to like see the diffuser from there. That's why I was like kind of getting excited, because I was like, okay,
oh, yeah,
you're there for a reason. There must be like, you must be able to kill that defuse. But no cigar.
Exactly. Zed not having the best of luck. However, Splyce coming out hot here, 2-0 at the moment. I'm going to actually go and I was going to jump on board with Hawqeh. He's going a bit slow, but he's 3-1 at the moment. Top fragging for his team. Wall running right out around the side of the map here. Is he going to breach into this top point again? Joshh making that early kill. First blood goes to Splyce once again.
Oh, he's going to find a second. XL are going to be kicking themselves the first time they try and go aggressive on their defense, and it's cost them, well, 2 players early. This very well could be trouble for them. Zed and Brian left to do everything then, and he does have overdrive now, Joshh. Those frags have really kind of aided him in picking that one up nice and quickly. 50 seconds, and it does look like we're going to be seeing our very first A plant, but what was that from Zed? He's completely equalized in the blink of an eye. Finally, Vortex has something to say, but hold on a second, it's 1! It could very well be 2, but Joshh finds his 3rd, and so does Splyce.
Yeah. Really well played from Joshh there, picking up that early first blood. I've got to say, Zed, though, answered back equally with the double kill himself, but it all came down to this last one. An SMG just came off the bed. I'm not saying that was a position from a submachine gun, but Joshh had accompanied, obviously, a teammate
long
with
barrel.
him. Yeah, long barrel, of course. You know,
Power of long barrel. That's
very,
it.
very good choice.
That kind of mid-range SMG suddenly becomes pretty damn deadly. As we did see overdrive ready. I wanted to know if whether or not he was going to use it. I think he did.
I think overdrive, he was on the other team. It was Joshh who has it on the defense at the moment.
Okay,
he's probably not going to use it.
Touch that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Instead, though, he's just going to go aggressive. Did he potentially use it?
Let's flick on board with him. Just see, he's used it on the defense. A very, very sneaky play there. But again, the one thing I like about Joshh here, he didn't use it alone. He went out, and he went out with Bance as backup. I mean, if there's a guy you want to have next to you, it is Bance. However, 3 versus 4 now. 1 minute on the clock. XL needs to do something very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's the time for change now, and losing Nolson early is only going to kind of ail them, as they haven't been able to trade that frag. And so now it comes down to really this bodyguard of Brian. I'm going to stop calling him Brian, I promise, as it is Brain, technically.
AAA.
AAA, I mean, he's a cool guy. Now, though, they have to try to desperately find something. That's their opportunity, and he struggles to find the frag. That, my friends, is unforgivable. That was his opportunity to bring it back to level 3v3, but no, 29 seconds, and still 4 members of Splyce still standing. Just for a second, though, because now the exchanges are coming in. Bance did manage to trade it onto Brian, and overdrive so damn close for Qwiker, as he's going to be getting that bomb down. Surely he needs to be stopped. Push it. They have the men available. This is where Splyce need to take that risk, try and stop that bomb from going down, and they win on the time instead. He's going to be able to get away, get the bomb down. Finally, Hawqeh draws blood, and now all onto Zed.
Yeah, actually gone for a really, really good flank here, because the bomb diffuser could be spotted. Has been taken down. 1 versus 2. Zed, can he make the clutch? Use it as a glitch, and he's out of there.
He's completely escaped. 25 seconds. This is gorgeous. I've been trying to stop saying that one, but finally Bance does catch him. And as close as it may have been, not enough. Psychosis is ready, and that defuse is going to be coming in nice, cool, calm, collected.
No matter how good you are at Call of Duty, when using that glitch, you don't know exactly where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
Now, Zed, he used the glitch. He was out of there very quickly. Fantastic play. But he kind of landed almost just around the corner from a player. Very unlucky for him. We saw Bance here pick up that's where he glitched to, and Bance kind of jumped out, saw where it was, and that MR6 coming into play there, finishing him off. But again, Splyce 4-0 up. Nolson yet to score. I'll be interested to see if he can pick up a few frags himself. At the moment, though, Splyce answering back from that hard point in great fashion. They 6-0'd their last team they played in Search and Destroy. Are they going to do it again, Machine?
This would be, I mean, a real statement from Splyce, just saying, you know, that we have a game type that we thrive at. And as already you've said, you know, success at S&D wins you champs. As we are going to be seeing what Joshh can do. Different rush route from him. He found entries like this before. Just pushing straight into Chalet, and he's just going to walk straight on up, completely unannounced. He's going to draw for blood. That's Nolson down. That's his 5th death. Still no kills for him. He needs to check his corners, though. Nolson did not do that, and Joshh surely needs to do something different. Bryant does get the frag, though, onto Vortex, and quickly traded by Zed as 2 frags now for XL. And Splyce, they're starting to fall like flies. Yeah,
for me, that opening kill was very, very unforgivable. For me, Splyce have basically, you know, realized that XL, they just sit right at the back of the map. They don't really do anything, and Joshh kind of walked in there with no qualms at all, straight in there, no problems, and he realized that, and he, you know, found out that he could actually do that with no problem. However, Qwiker finishing things off. You can see them getting the first round on the board, even though Joshh did get that entry kill. We saw here XL answering back in great fashion, taking down Hawqeh, one of the new players, of course. Qwiker finaling things out 4-1.
Well, there is a downside to passive defense, and we saw an example of that there, where you saw Nolson, yes, you're holding an angle, it's a great angle, but you were vulnerable. There was not enough players to go around, really. There was too many angles for him to hold. He was very, very much caught with his pants around his ankles, and now we are going to be going into the eyes of Zed. Very reminiscent of what Joshh just did, and he's going to go ahead and try and find one. Psychosis popped. It does nothing for Bance. Finally, though, Joshh is in a good position to catch him. Bryant, straight into that one. I'm going to keep on calling him. I cannot stop.
Luckily, it is his name, Brian.
Fortunately.
Oh, wow, and Qwiker picking up the double kill. We didn't catch it here, but you will see that in your final kill cam Machine. 4-2 now. XL answering back with back-to-back rounds, should I say. And Qwiker there, really well played. He kind of cut through middle, came into their own base, and just came behind them. 2 easy kills. I like it.
Yeah, easy pickup for him, and it's good to see XL keeping this one interesting. 4-2, and then now we're going to be seeing how the sides do swap once again. 7 frags for Joshh. It's quite outstanding stuff from him. And we are seeing Hawqeh does have glitch available. We could very well be seeing some snazzy glitch plays from the new name to the Splyce roster, as he's going to be working his way outside. And just, I mean, this is that kind of that tough angle where you know someone's going to be in that room, in that bedroom, and no matter how many trophy systems you see, you still have to check every possibility, every corner. You want to flash it, nade it, everything you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan favorite of that corner. I go there when I'm playing because anyone jumping through that window, I will take them down. I like the way they put a trophy system down, but Joshh answers back and basically says, "Qwiker, I know you're there." He came in and actually finished him off with a headshot. Probably the reason why he got his 8th kill of the game. Let's see what Joshh is doing right.
Yeah, he's actually very close to his overdrive again. This will be overdrive number 2. 45 seconds, though. And he's going to be making his way, wrapping right on around. The teammates, in the meantime, did get the bomb down. I think Vortex was the man behind the magic there. There's now just 38 seconds for this retake, and there's only 2 members of XL still kicking. Make it 1, as it does fall then to Nolson. He found Joshh, but that's only going to be the start of what could potentially be a 1 versus 4. No hope, no prayer. Vortex catches the soles of his feet as he did launch himself into the air, and it's going to be 5-2, and 1 step closer to that 6. Just, I mean, this is going to be tough for XL. They have to take this into a round 11 to be able to pick up the win.
Yeah, for me, Splyce, they look a little bit more disciplined on this map. They seem to know what they're doing. They seem to have found XL's Achilles heel. They've found their weakness, and they're exploiting it. They're going, you know, pedal to the metal is what I like to say.
Pedal to the metal is right with overdrive. Look at Joshh. He's just going to go ahead and sprint. He's just a blur on the screens of his opponents as he's going to go ahead and go for that fast rush. Same route he took before. Caught them by surprise. Are they going to fall for the same trick twice? Yes, they are. As Brain goes down. He wasn't quite smart enough for that one. Now it is just going to be 3 members, 4 XL remaining to stay alive in the Search and Destroy.
Yeah, stayed on board with Joshh, of course, there. I like the way he went out with Bodyguard. Bance, of course. Qwiker, though, now in the enemy base. 1 minute on the clock. 3 versus 4. Numerical advantage in favor of Splyce. Can he even things up? He's going to slide out. Glitch is played not the best for Hawqeh. And that is the downside for Glitch. If you're static for a long time, you're not going to go far. If you're running like a crazy man, you are. Bance gets another kill. Now 2 versus 3. XL, Zed on your screen.
Yeah, they're not completely out of this one. Nolson and Zed, I mean, if ever you wanted a man alive, it is going to be Zed. Such a potent fragger, and he's pre-aiming the perfect angle. But what was that? Reaction time just not quite up to scratch as Joshh showed his face, and he was vulnerable at the time as well. Nolson, then his compadre is gone. It does all fall down to Zed, and he has 3 to find. Splyce just need to play the time. They're playing it right at the moment. Don't need to show face. Don't need to show absolutely anything, and this will be that equalizer that they've been so hungry for. 19 seconds. Zed's still not been given anything. He's just been wrapped around. Beautiful positioning from Splyce, and the time just is not enough. As the bomb you would expect to be going down. There you go. Joshh is going to be able to pick that one up 6-2, and Splyce are going to be your victors in this one.
Yeah, it was only finishing one way. That Joshh had it locked down. Of course, there was no way for Zed to plant the bomb. Let's have a look at those scoreboards. Joshh, the man of the moment, 11 kills to his name. However, I've got to point out, Nolson not having the best of games. Very unlike him, you know, he's a very great player. Very great player. Doesn't make quite so much sense. However,
double positive.
Yeah, he's a search and destroy player, which is excelled previously. 1-7, not his best game, but it's a team effort, search and destroy in those kind of that area, and we're going to see it very, very shortly as we go into the protect and ban. Vesper taken away straight away.
Yeah, we're going to see Afterburner taken away by Brian. Oh, damn it, Brain. It takes everything in my power to not say Brain. Brian. Oh, God. Man of War and stock taken away as well. That's an assault rifle banned quite early. It was from Qwiker, so looking to take that away from the boys at Splyce. Kind of which assault rifler has really had this taken away from them, because stock's gone as well? Who's this going to affect most on Splyce?
For me, 100% Bance. That's a target ban. And what I mean by a target ban, they've picked someone out from the other roster and they've said, look, you're not having your favorite weapon. We saw yesterday Bance rocking the Man of War and he was going off, and it was actually on Fringe hardpoint. So, you know, that's definitely one for him. As we go into the specialist, though, this is where we're going to see the return of the Scythe. One of your favorites to watch. Is very, very entertaining for me, as people just kind of pull out that robotic arm and shut them down.
Yeah, it really can just slay, and really quickly as well. We are going to be seeing a last-second pickup then for Hawqeh, as he's going to be rocking the Tempest. Of course, that enables you to just... It feels like kind of in the same vein as Annihilator. You'll know it well, that kind of distance, one-shot, one-kill. A little bit of a kind of warm-up for that one. And, I mean, there's a trade-off, wouldn't you say? Like, what's the differences between a Tempest and an Annihilator?
Annihilator, you know, it's instant. You know, you pull the trigger and the bullet is out the chamber. For the Tempest, it's a little bit slower, has that recharge. But the great thing about the Tempest is, if someone's running through a door and you kill one person, that little electric doesn't die straight away. It can call what we chain reacts, basically. So if your teammate's just died, he's getting electrocuted. If you run into that, you're getting electrocuted, you know, as well. It's basically, it's like real life, you know.
Essentially, yeah, totally real life. I mean, you know, all this wall running is totally like real life as well.
Yeah, of course.
But we do need to go ahead and run down those rosters for you one more time. On the side of Excel, we're going to be seeing Scythe in the hands of Brain, Qwiker rocking Heatwave, Zed on Psychosis, and we're talking about the Annihilator Tempest. Nolson is going to be battling kind of head-on-head with Hawqeh as he picks up the Annihilator. Yeah,
and on the other side, Splyce. Hawqeh taking that Tempest, that electric weapon, which can cause devastating effects to the opposing team. Vortex with a Psychosis rivaling Zed. Size picked up by Bance again, no surprise there, but Joshh with the kinetic armor, he's the man to watch. He's going to have this drone, and interestingly enough, he's the only one to pick an ability on his team. Alternatively, Qwiker, the same. You know, these are the ones to watch with the drone.
Yeah, so those two differences you'll be noticing is going to be the Heatwave and Annihilator for Excel, in contrast to the kinetic armor and the Tempest picked up by Splyce. So you're going to keep your eyes on those ones and see, you know, which decision was the most favorable and who can really wield their specialists the best. As well. I'm really kind of excited to see what Qwiker can do with Heatwave, because let's not forget that this was previously banned in the ban and protect. We saw Heatwave taken away from him, and so now it's his turn to shine with that going through and slipping through perhaps the cracks of that ban and protect.
Yeah, and you know, if that's his thing, maybe that was a target banner. Didn't know if it was something he always uses. We will see that as the league progresses, though. Of course, these guys will have all kinds of crazy stats we'll be able to bring to you. But as they edit their score streaks, you know, this is a big one as well, because we saw the HCXD card banned from Joshh 2 maps in the row, 2 maps consecutively. That's the word. But this time it wasn't. You know, will we see the HC XD card come into play this time? Not too sure, being uplink. But we'll see some interesting ones for sure.
Well, let's not forget, you know, we saw a whole lot of streaks in that previous uplink. You know, it's one of those ones where you can see your Hellstorm and everything coming in quite quickly. Even a Cerberus, I'm pretty sure, was walking around at one point during our infection games. But, I mean, it is going to be played out on Fringe, and we're going to be seeing how this one does go down. Yeah,
of course. For you guys at home, uplink, one to watch out for. Great game mode. Score limit is unlimited. There is no cap on that. However, there is a 5-minute time limit where you will swap sides to keep things even as possible. But that respawn delay will be 5 seconds. So if you go down, you're costing your team a lane or a spot for a couple of seconds. One thing that I must say is, uplink, to keep it basic, there is a drone in the middle of the map. You have a portal at each end you're wanting to be scoring by throwing that in, or even jumping it straight in for that extra 2-pointer.
Yeah, 1 point for the throw, 2 for the walk-in, and we're going straight on into this one, guys. 5 minutes thrown onto the clock, and it's time to see who can pick up the win in this series. 1 for 1, the smokes are coming out, and that makes me a very happy child, but we are going to be seeing the nades just evaded. Gorgeous movement from Joshh as he goes for the throw, and it is not going to quite hit, but this is what we were talking about, Phil, those fast 1-point passes, and it is just going to be picked up by his teammate. Yeah,
and that was the manual pass that I was talking about between the barn and the trains. However, the drone has now been reset with 30 seconds gone. The time is a factor here, a lot more than your hard point, as we see all the kill feed light up in red for XL. Only Joshh is alive. Brain there, 2-on-1 already. Progressing through the map, does take down another. And this is what I like to see from him, because the manual passes come in. That drone is just by his side, and he is slaying everything as the 2-point play goes in for XL. Great play from them. Really, really locking it down. Massive props to Brain there, but Qwiker also on 5-0, 6-0. Got to hop on board with him. Full streaks unlocked.
That was Brain, the bodyguard, and now it's time for Qwiker to see if he can make a similar impact into this game. He's making the run for XL. He's going to go ahead and try and find that frag. He does onto Hawqeh. Surely not a second, as Vortex does manage to pocket himself too. And looks like the run's going to be trying to be made by Vortex. He did manage to pick that one up in his base. He wants to try to either throw it out of bounds or make some sort of crazy run. I think he is going to go for the first option. And that's going to go ahead and reset back in towards middle.
Yeah, Qwiker was on an 8-kill streak before he gets shut down. Still on a tear, though, as he finishes at 9-2. But Vortex on your screen, taking a bit more of a defensive route. Nolson, though, has that drone. He's 0-3 at the minute. Gone for the 1-point play over the White House. He's been practicing that in the public matches and everything in between. But Nolson, again, he's 0-4, but he's making those objective plays. I love it from XL.
Yeah, no complaints. No complaints with that one from Nolson. You can start fragging now, mate, and he has indeed done that, as he did find Hawqeh. 3 minutes on the clock, and XL have started very, very strong in this one. We haven't seen really an attempt at an offense from Splyce other than that one early pass from Joshh.
Yeah, and it was very, very aggressive. The key thing there was Joshh kind of double smoked it, got in the face of them, but he had to back off. You know, it didn't work out for them.
Here we go, though.
He gets taken down. The drone, though, in play. Bance has that.
Yeah, this could very well be the first for Splyce if they play it right, but no, look at this angle from Brian. So good, as he's going to be potentially catching the one. Did land the tag. Qwiker's on the hunt, and that's going to be the assist for him, as once again, it's going to be objective Nolson who's going to try and run this one for XL. MR6 frag is nice and quick, as is Qwiker actually onto Bance. And he's still got, oh my god, he's got Heatwave and all of his streaks. It is time for the HCXD. Let's not forget, Joshh took that away previously, and he's going to be able to kill that one this time. He obviously has a bit of a passionate hatred for them. And still, Joshh now going to try and make the run back. He's just kind of going back and forth along the map. Lots of running with this one, but that's a great kill from Qwiker, and this could very well be 2 points. It's just going to be the one. Did he throw it as he died?
He died in midair. However, the drone dropped with the body, so it dropped into the portal, scoring the 1 point. Unfortunate for him, but he picks up the 1.
That's, I mean, it's better than nothing. 2 minutes still, and XL are just slowly, gradually, incrementally increasing that lead. And I mean, you know, this is the question you ask now. It's 2 minutes in. Do you want to keep going offensive and take risks, or are you going to be quite happy to set your sights on half 2?
For me, XL need to do what they're doing and keep it up.
Oh,
is he going to go for the
1?
Oh, I thought it was, but 3 kills came in for his team. The drone is dropped, but Bance with a massive 2-piece. Can they follow up on this? It's going to be Brain who picks it up, and yes, he does. You saw that on your screen. Joshh does make the kill, but after the points are made. 6-0 XL. They're fantastic right now, and again, Respawn seems like their game mode.
Yeah, definitely a different team than we saw from XL on Search and Destroy. Now Zed, though, with the RK5, could very well find this frag. One more spray, it's good. He gets the Psychosis as well, and now very well could find this one with a hipfire. Does. Josh's brain is everywhere, and now we are going to be seeing another further push from XL. He's going to pick that up, and that should very well be 2 points. He's just taking his time. Oh no, not enough thrust. He's going to go down the movement, not his friend this time. That slide cost him the points, and now it's time for the counter push from Vortex.
Yeah, you know, that's a silly move from them. I'm not going to call it out too much, but that's something that they won't be doing again for sure. Vortex, though, he's trying to get this counterplay, gets taken down. Bance taken over with the drone. Not sure he actually wanted that, but it landed in his lap, and he picked it straight up. Has that scythe available. Is he going to go for this 1-point play?
Surely not going to get any more than 1 point. He's actually going for the 2. He's running around. He has gone completely unnoticed, but there's the Hellstorm. Qwiker rails down Terror from the skies, finds Bance, and that's going to be a really, really tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, that's clutch play from Qwiker. You know, he's not only racked up all these kills, he's got those score streaks available to him, and he's used at the perfect time. 17-9. Let's see what he's doing right as the boys on XL keep that drone in their base as they reset it on the 20-second mark. They're going to go into side number 2 with this lead. very exciting to see.
Yeah, you say this lead, potentially we're going to see one last push from Splyce, 15 seconds. They could probably get themselves a 1 point if they played it perfectly, but it's going to come down to what Joshh can do. He has kinetic armor, yes, he knows he hasn't got time for fights. It's going to be the attempt. He's lined it up. Is it enough? It is. 6-1, and Splyce do find just a little glimmer of hope in the first half.
Yeah, he used that kinetic armor and he used it perfectly. I thought, has he wasted it? Has he kind of panicked too much and just thought, you know, we need something quick to go into the side? But he used it. He got the 1 point play. Nolson tried to intercept there, but was not successful in doing so. But he was successful in taking down Bance here, bringing that scoreboard up for you guys to see. One thing for me that sticks out is just the objective play that's coming from Nolson. You know, we saw him going heavily negative, but he's made, obviously, a lot of those plays. Let's see what he can do going into side number 2. Okay, so I'm going to stay on board with Nolson.
Yeah, okay, we'll stick with him. He does have his Annihilator available. Not interested in getting any opening frags with that one. Instead, though, he's going for that kind of open wall run. Oh, it could have been, wasn't, though. As he did land the tag, and it is now time for the Annihilator. Looking to annihilate, and even makes good from his promises in that earlier tag. Now, looking to push around this corner. He's going aggressive with the Annihilator. It's good to see. He needs to be cautious of that right-hand side. He goes for it, and he isn't quite going to find it. Whistles past the ear of Vortex, and he finds that frag, as does Bance. And Splyce start to make that kill feed nice and yellow. Just one from Brine to try and change it.
Yeah, and Bance is the man with the drone. Not someone you'd usually see. Is going to get rid of that, throwing it into the XL base. But XL surrounding that, surely they're going to be able to get rid of it here. Picking up the drone was Brain. Extra armor for him. Is Bance going to be able to do the impossible? No, Zed shuts him down. 14 and 13 for Zed right now. Let's see what he can do. We see the Tempest, though. I've got to see who that is.
See how far he can get with it. It's going to be Hawqeh. Still has 6 charges of it left. He's going to go for it. Does just find it. 2 seconds to get out of that one. Dead Man's Leg. Dead Man's Leg? What's it called?
Dead Man's Land.
Dead Man's Land. I just said leg. Dead Man's Leg.
I think it was the shot to his leg that literally electrified him.
That's probably what I was going for. Okay, either way, I wanted to know what was going through Bance's mind with that throw. Scooped up in middle and immediately just threw it back to like the enemy territory. I want to know what the kind of thought process was there from Bance.
Yeah, for me, Bance was just kind of trying to get rid of it. He's not a player which you'll see with the drone a lot. He's the slayer of Splyce, but it doesn't seem to be working. Qwiker with the heat wave comes in, gets the blast from teammate.
Oh, no.
Can I jump on board with Qwiker in time? I can. He's got the drone again for the pass, and the 2-point play comes in, extending the lead 8-1. Looked like a little bit of a mistake with the pass there. It kind of got blocked. Yeah. However, they finished it off an 8-1. Splyce, they need to change something.
Yeah, and this is about the time where they have to change it. 3 minutes in, at this point in time, it's still possible. Once we start seeing 1 minute 30, something like that, you need to kind of realize that this game could very well be sitting 2-0 for XL. This is the second half, folks, of our 3rd game in the series, and it looks like XL are about to make it good on their promises. That's another one. He lined it up beautifully, and that will be 9 as XL bordering on that kind of double-digit territory. Something that I'm sure Splyce are not willing to see and not see going down without a fight. But look at this. Going to see Qwiker this time making a run for XL. Not another one. Surely there's someone there to defend it. What's going on here? He hasn't got the thrust just yet. He's waiting for it.
No, he's actually playing this really tactically. Until he gets challenged, that's when he's going to use it. But for me, he's just running down the time. The excellent thing that I've seen here, as you can see, what I try and do is always be on the player with the drone in hand, for example, now. But with XL, I jump on board with one, and he passes it to another, and I'm like, okay, just slow down for a second. I'm not ready to just keep switching around. But that's what comes with a great team, and that is XL. The manual pass, to what I said, between the back train and the red barn, it's been key factor for them. And Zed, oh my goodness, look at that bottom right-hand screen. When it lights up yellow, you know you're in trouble. Yeah, indeed. It's going to be the Cerberus then comes out to play with 2 minutes left. That really is kind of ensuring the victory for his team, you would expect. But then again, we know what happened when Phil talked about that raps yesterday. So I'm not going to say a word. You are not going to say a word, young man. Qwiker, though, is going to be trying to run that drone once again for XL, and not going to be going down without a fight. You can see Vortex. He's been finding frags, and there's no doubt about it. You can see on the scoreboard he's got 12 for his team, but it feels like kind of not enough when you look at the rest of his opponents, all sitting in that 20 territory, and he hasn't been doing too much of the objective work either. Yeah, for you guys at home maybe unfamiliar with Uplink, one thing I would say is you're probably thinking, you know, why are XL taking the drone to their own base? What are they doing? For me, it's they're 11-1 up. They're playing things slow. It's almost like they're just kind of playing the clock, and they're doing it very, very well. It's a tactical play. Joshh does have the drone in hand. Let's see what he can do. Can he get some points on the board for his team? He's going to get an extra 1, but that's 2 points in a total of 9 minutes. It's not enough. Yeah, I think that's going to be the 2 words that are kind of in their brain right now, going over and over. Not enough. They need to do better. You've got to kind of work out a way to beat the XL respawns, as you have to remind yourselves that Capture the Flag follows this one, followed by Search and Destroy to end it.
And that's another respawn. Look, XL could very well pick up the 3-1 if they were to pick up this series. Still, though, it's not over yet. 40 seconds, and it does look like Brain's going to be trying to make a run. As you can see, this cover that was being provided by Zed, and he's just going to go for a little 1 point. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 12-2, 30 seconds left. Splyce know it's over, as do we. We can see now it's just going to be a bit of a TDM for the last 30 seconds, trying to pick up some frags, pick up some dignity, and looks like Zed. Oh, hang on a second. This could be a beautiful lineup. One, maybe, yes! Oh, that was really solid play coming out from Zed. 13-2, 18 seconds left, no problem. And the Cerberus gets a kill just to rub salt into the wound. And they are not going to stop. They really, really want to kind of drive this home. This is going to be another 1-pointer, and XL are murdering Splyce.
Yeah, I mean, we've been treated at the end to see some kind of fancy play, if you like. It's some great Call of Duty to watch, but we're going to see more and more throws like that. You know, I would never dream of, you know, trying to throw it so far, but these guys have practiced very hard, the best of the best, the professionals in their own rights. And for me, XL on that respawn again, they're looking very, very strong. And again, we've got capture the flag next, another respawn. Do we see this ending 3-1?
I mean, that's it. So far, so good. 100% win rate for XL on respawn. It's time for the bans and protects then as we go into our third in this best of 5. Breach, capture the flag, and Vesper, no surprises whatsoever, is back to that rightful position in the bottom left corner of ban and protect.
Fantastic. Vesper going away. Smoke.
What?
Who has taken that away? We will see.
Eventually.
Yeah, shortly. However, active camo taken away as well. But what I will see on your screen, I mean, so active camo is an interesting one for capture the flag because, you know, yes, you've got to run across the map, but if you're invisible, that makes it a little bit easier.
It does indeed. And we're kind of responsive to that. They're like, okay, you take away my active camo, I'm going to have overdrive. And we're going to be seeing then how that one works out. Vortex was the one responsible for picking that one up, so that's just Splyce saying we need to have that overdrive flag run.
Yeah, and Vortex, we saw him, the objective player previously, opposite to Nolson and your likes of UZ, so he's the objective player. He said, I want this guy, you know, can I protect it? Yes, you can, you've taken it away. Bance eliminating the M8, he obviously feels comfortable with other weapons such as the Man of War, but high caliber and rapid fire, two attachments we always see taken away.
There it is.
Brain, he said, you know, you can ban my M8, but I'll ban your Man of War as well, Bans. That's targeted 100%.
100%. Like, that is quite literally just trying to take as much as they can away from those assault rifle players. We call them AR players. But, I mean, you've got to kind of keep in mind there's a whole lot more left in the tank for the assault rifles. We could be seeing some more HVKs action. I mean, considering Breach can get a bit tight-knit, there's not that much of a long-range battle unless you're kind of peeking on the rooftops, so maybe. But in the close quarters, HVK really can thrive.
Yeah, 100%. We saw yesterday in the Millennium game, 4 assault rifles were taken away. There's always available things, you know, the Shiva's still available, HVK, ICR, for all people like Madcat. Madcat likes that KN. You know, KN44 comes into play. I'm not a fan of it myself. I can't control the recoil, but if you can, it packs a punch. It's very, very powerful. Yeah,
it's a different play style, and I think when you can master it, it can be a potent weapon to pick up. So far, though, the Specialist Raft has been completed, and we're going to be seeing a couple of interesting ones. I'll go ahead and run down what we have seen for the boys of Splyce then. We see Joshh picking up Overdrive. Of course, that was protected during the ban and protect phase, so they're very happy to snap that one up. Vortex picking up the heat wave this time, kind of a staple for either side, as we see coming in to capture the flag. Bance on the scythe, Hawqeh on kinetic armor.
Yeah, up on the opposing side, currently looking very hot. Talking about hot, it is Qwiker with the heat wave. Zed, that objective player though. Sorry, Zed objective, what am I saying? I think the overdrive's given me a little bit of a push there. Maybe he's opting for something different, because Zed for me has been that kind of
he's the mad fragger
slayer, if you like. Yeah. But running through the rosters, Qwiker, Zed, Nolson, and Brain, a.k.a. Brian. You can call him either because both are correct. But the only difference, Annihilator versus the Scythe. Bance versus Nolson.
Yeah, and as always, you know, the Nolson and the Tommies of the world just happy to take Annihilator. Doesn't matter what scenario, doesn't matter what game type, I will take Annihilator and I will try and live up to that name. It's
going to be interesting because a lot of these guys, you know, when their full team isn't on, they still like to practice maybe with each other. You know, what happens when Nolson, Tommy, and 2 other Annihilator players play together? You just kind of see...
It's just awkward, really. It's Orky Momo.
Like, no, it's my weapon. I always get this one. Orky Momo. Talking to Momos, I'm right here, alongside Machine, enjoying all of the Call of Duty action today. But we're only in game number 1. I mean, so much more to come. And this is, I mean, potentially the last map for this series. Can XL take it? And this will mean they will be top of the league.
Yes, I mean, it would probably be quite fleeting, but they would be top of the league. That's not quite, you know. I feel like when would you be happy to say that the kind of the landscape of that top kind of table would be established? Like, if you how many weeks are we talking here?
I mean, at the end of week 2. Yeah. I know that's really early to say, but if you're on 4-0, you're looking good.
Yeah.
You know, you can maybe in week 3 take 1 loss, still get another 5-1. But say at the end of week 2, week 3, you're going to see the top teams at the top, the bottom at the bottom, and that's where you may see Millennium have climbed their way back up. But it all comes down to their matchups. You know, you might have a couple of matchups against, say, you know, week 2, you might play Millennium and Infused. Then you're thinking, hang on a second, how are we going to get a win here? But capture the flag is the game mode you're going to see. Let me run down this really, really simple for you. You each have a flag in your base. The objective is to go into the enemy base, pick their flag up, and return it home. That is all the objective needs to be done. Of course, the scoreline is unlimited. There is no cap on that. 5 minutes on the clock, you will switch sides, much like we've just seen in Uplink. But the respawn delay, a lot more effective in this capture the flag with 7.5 seconds. Again, if you die in a certain position, if you're holding one lane, you know, you're opening that up to a whole lot of trouble. But let's get right into the action. Let's see if XL can finish things off. I am going to go on board with Joshh. Okay, Joshh is the one on your screens here. Kuda in hand. Can he make the opening frag? Yes, he can. He's going to be able to take him down. Let's see what he can do. Still on the tear here. 23 bullets in the chamber. Nolson and Qwiker also picking up 1. Okay. He's got to go for the flag pull here. This is very, very early on. This
is a very deep push as well. Look forward to see if he can find that frag. You'd expect to catch a glimpse. Yeah, he's going to try and catch on Brian, but no, not good enough. As we do see that assault rifle play from Brain. He's always been very influential with that one. Now Hawqeh on the other side of the spectrum with the VMP goes fast. He's going to be sliding down that staircase. Not going to find a second though, as again, this kind of solid anchor role that he's being adopting.
Zed's got the flag. I'm sorry to interrupt there. I couldn't even get on board with him. I couldn't even find him. But XL 1-0 already.
Yeah, we completely managed to miss that one, unfortunately, but we of course are aware that now XL, it's a respawn game type. It's where they really do thrive. We are going to be seeing TacMask work nicely for his opponent there, which is still managing to stay alive in that server room. Qwiker found the frag on Joshh in the meantime. You can see he's getting pushed on either angle. Zed trying to play the defensive role with a VMP. He's going to find it, and now just keeping that flag safe and sound for now.
For me, though, he's on his score streaks. He's racking them up. He's got a cart in his back pocket. He's got the overdrive available. And one thing for me is Zed has gone from this objective-based god to this defensive machine here. So he's caught the flag. He's got back to base, and now he's swapped roles and let his team go loose. But really racking up those score streaks. He will be actually playing for them now, as he probably will just sit in this corner. So I'm just going to go on board with Brain a little bit more in the action.
Yeah, and he's been going quite offensive. It's quite nice to see. He's actually opting for the MR6 alongside his HVK. This is that assault rifle I already highlighted as being quite prolific in that CQB, that close quarters environment. But no, Vortex gets the better of him, and now we are going to be seeing Nolson kind of return to that defensive role. He's just going to kind of double check on it, make sure everything's okay. He's nice tucked in tight. As we're going to be seeing Joshh go on the offensive. He's kind of still roaming around this area. So close to the flag, yet not close enough, as he does get taken down by Nolson's sidearm.
Yeah, basically reset here. Looking at that minimap, the red army here, XL, just almost putting up a bit of a defense. For me, what they're going to do here is maybe wait for a couple of kills like Zed has made now, and maybe push up if they can get a couple more. Let's see if Zed can do anything. I'm going to stay on board with Hawqeh, though. He's in the action. Zed is on 4-0. Looking at that scoreboard in the top right-hand corner, of course, kills to deaths and their kill streak, their captures next to it. Zed has made a flawless game so far. Let's see what he's doing right.
Yeah, I mean, he's sitting on that overdrive, but he's just 25 points away from the strike, and you can see he's got his eyes set. He's kind of foaming at the mouth. This is going to be the strike. It is. They all come in. He's got Hellstorm and Lightning now as well. You can see in that bottom right corner, it's all yellow, all good in the hood. And now 2 minutes, we are going to be seeing a run being made by Nolson. He's going to get this one gliding back home. And look at this. XL just seemed to quite literally excel when it comes to this one. I think I just saw, was that a heat wave?
It was Joshh. He was trying to use the heat wave. I'm presuming it was him. He gets taken down, though. And now Nolson in the same position as Zed was in on this streak. He's playing for these streaks. It's 2-0 to XL. We've seen a very, very struggling Splyce, if you like. In fact, the heat wave might have been from another team, though. Yeah. I'm a little bit lost in my own words here. But let's jump on board with Zed. Having a fantastic series. Look at that goldenness in the bottom right corner as he continues to try and do something special. Picks up a kill. He's going to get the flag, and he's going to get out of there with that overdrive machine.
He is not interested in combat. That is not his job right now. He has the flag on his back, his fists out, and he's just going for the run. He's going for the nice long wall run as well, trying to stay as evading of that door as he can. He's just going to be able to glide this one home. There's no one one there to greet him, and you can see that's going to be 3 for Excel in this first half. Really, really comfortable stuff from the Brits.
Yeah, he's doubling up on his score streaks. You know, he would have 2 HC cars if he'd had used the first, but he hasn't. He's not had a chance, but no worry for them. Qwiker, though, the only one to defense, and that's going to be kinetic armor coming in from Hawqeh. Let's see what Hawkeye's doing, because this could be the first point on the board if Splyce can protect him. This is where you need bodyguard Bance to come into play. Unfortunately, though, we're going to see a bit of a connection interruption. However, XL 3-0 in the lead. Wow, Respawn seems to be their forte machine, but Hawqeh could have been onto something there.
I mean, he really could. I had my kind of hopes getting up. If he'd have managed to pick up just that one, that equalizer would make everything a little bit calmer coming into that second half and more realistic, I think, for Splyce. At the moment, we could be seeing Splyce kind of concede that loss, considering, I mean, 3-0, there's only 1 minute left in the first half, then they have another 5 minutes thrown onto the clock, and we have to see if they can kind of overcome these players. And apparently XL just won.
Okay, so maybe, I mean, they were 3-0 up. It makes sense.
Yeah.
That flag was going away. Maybe they didn't capture it, but we've had
news. I
see.
So we basically were disconnected. The game still played out, and Excel picked up the win. So we can have that one. Okay, understood. I understand now. So you may not have seen it, and we didn't. So it's kind of irrelevant. Don't tell us that you think XL is going to win now because you're cheating. Okay, if you start tweeting us now saying, I think XL might win.
Do it quick.
I know your game. I know your game.
Look good.
But either way, that's going to be XL picking up the win. We kind of saw it going that way. We started to see the that way, shaping up that way. And I mean, a huge win for XL. They're going to be sitting at 2-0 now in the standings.
2-0, top of the league. Not lost a respawn in the league yet.